In the shadowed past of the Hera solar system, amidst the swirling chaos of warp storms and the relentless darkness of the void, the saga of its noble families and the lineage of its governors is a tale of ambition, resilience, and the unyielding power of the human spirit. The Dark Times, the Crucible of Nobility. As the warp storms cut off Hera from the light of the Astronomicon, the system was plunged into an era of strife and uncertainty. It was during these times, known as the Dark Times, that the noble families of Hera solidified their power. With the imperial navy reduced to a mere shadow of its former glory, these families, who had once been mere administrators and merchants, rose to become the de facto rulers of the hive city of Dominus Prime and its surrounding territories. The most ruthless among them was the lineage of House Valorum, whose scions would become the governors of Hera. They were a family steeped in military tradition, having provided officers to the navy before the isolation. Their ancestral home, the Valorum Holdfast, became a fortress from which they commanded the respect and fear of the populace. The Cult Wars, the struggle for the soul of Hera. The isolation bred more than just desperation, it gave rise to cults that sought to fill the void left by the distant Emperor's light. The Brotherhood of the Void and the Iron Creed grew in power, their influence spreading through the Underhive and even into the spires where the nobility resided. It was under Governor Tiberius Valorum that the Cult Wars began, a series of brutal conflicts to root out heresy and restore the imperial creed's dominance. The noble families, led by the Valorums, allied with the remnants of the ecclesiarchy to purge the cults. The streets of Dominus Prime ran red with blood, and the Underhive became a battleground where faith and power clashed with fervor. It was a war not only for control, but for the very soul of Hera. The mutant uprising, the scourge from below. As if the cultist threat was not enough, the Dark Times also saw an uprising of mutants from the bowels of the Hive City. The mutants, long oppressed and forced to live in the toxic sumps and irradiated zones, rose up against their human oppressors. They were led by a figure known only as the Twisted King, a being of immense psychic power and hatred for the pure-strain humans. The noble families, already weary from the cult wars, were forced to band together once more. The Valorums, with their military expertise, led the charge. The battles were merciless, and for a time it seemed as if the Hive City would fall. But through strategy, the might of the remaining imperial machines of war, and the indomitable will of the defenders, the uprising was quelled. The Twisted King was slain, his head mounted on the gates of the Valorum Holdfast as a grim reminder of the mutant threat. The Reclamation, a new dawn for Hera. When the warp storms finally receded, and the light of the Emperor reached Hera once more, the noble families were hailed as the saviors of the system. The Valorums, now firmly entrenched as the ruling house, were officially recognized by the returning imperial forces as the governors of Hera. The Adeptus Mechanicus, eager to exploit the resources of the system, forged alliances with the noble families, particularly the Valorums. The ecclesiarchy, seeking to re-establish its power, found willing partners in the nobility, who were keen to demonstrate their piety after the cult wars. The present, the legacy of power. Now, centuries later, the noble families of Hera, with the Valorums still at their head, continue to rule. The Hive City of Dominus Prime is a monument to their legacy, its spires a testament to their power. The great cathedral of the Emperor Ascendant stands as a symbol of the victory over the cults, and the Valorum Holdfast remains the unassailable heart of the system's governance. The history of the Hera solar system is etched into the very stones of Dominus Prime and whispered in the winds that sweep across Ferrum Secundus. It is a history of darkness and light, of war and faith, and above all, the unbreakable resolve of its rulers and people. The noble families, with the Valorums at their lead, stand as the embodiment of this enduring saga, their rule a testament to the strength required to master such a tempestuous domain in the Emperor's name.